Hello students, welcome to this video lecture on the subject Analog and Digital Electronics. Today I will discuss on monostable multivibrator. Myself Gaur Gopal Jana, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management. In this lecture, first I will define the monostable multivibrator. Then I will discuss the construction of monostable multivibrator. After that, operation of monostable multivibrator, the output waveforms of the multivibrator. After that, advantages and disadvantages of monostable multivibrator, and at last I will discuss the applications of monostable multivibrator. So now students, let us go to the topic. Monostable multivibrator. As I discussed in previous lecture, that multivibrator is a square wave generator, and the generated square wave may be symmetrical or asymmetrical square pulses. Generally, multivibrators consists of two transistor cross-coupled switching circuit. Okay, it is designed so that one or more of its output are fed back to the input of the other transistors with an resistor and capacitor. Multivibrators have two different electrical states, that is an output high state and an output low state. These states give them either a stable or quasi-stable state depending upon the type of multivibrator. Okay, one such type of two-state pulse generator configuration is called monostable multivibrator. Okay, it is also called single shot or single swing or one shot multivibrator. Okay. As its name implies, a monostable multivibrator has only one stable state and another half stable state. Okay, when one transistor conducts, the other remains in non-conducting state. Okay, when an external trigger pulse is applied to the circuit, the multivibrator will jump to half stable or quasi-stable state from stable state. After some period of time, it will automatically set back to its stable state. For returning to the stable state, multivibrator does not require any external trigger pulse. Okay, the time period to returning to stable state circuit is always depends on passive elements in the circuit, that is resistors, capacitors, etc. Okay, now the construction of monostable multivibrator. Okay, this is the circuit diagram of monostable multivibrator. Two transistors Q1 and Q2 are connected in feedback to one another. The collector of transistor Q1 is connected to the base of transistor Q2 through an capacitor C1, and the base of transistor Q1 is connected to the collector of transistor Q2 through a resistor R2. Here the DC voltage VCC provides the biasing voltage to the multivibrator. Another DC supply, that is minus VBB, is given to the base of transistor Q1 through a resistor R3. Okay, the trigger pulse is applied to the base of the transistor Q1 through a capacitor C2. This trigger pulse is given to the base to change its state, means if it is in off state, it will transform it to on state. Okay, the resistors RL1 and RL2, actually this is RL2, are the load resistors of Q1 and Q2, and the emitter of both transistor is grounded. Okay, now one of the transistors when get into a stable state, an external trigger pulse is given to change its state, as I told earlier. After changing its state, the transistor remains in this half stable state or quasi stable state for a specific time. That is that time for which it remains in quasi stable state is determined by the value of this RC, resistor or capacitor value. Okay, this is RC, this is known as RC time constant. And after this time period, it gets back to the previous state, which is stable state. Okay, now the operation of monostable multivibrator. Okay, so initially what happens, initially suppose there is no trigger pulse and the supply voltage VCC is applied, then this VCC provides the reverse bias to the reverse bias for collector to base junction of both transistor Q1 and Q2, but this gives the forward bias to the transistor Q2, so it conducts at saturation. But why not in forward bias for transistor Q1? Because a minus VB, that is applied to the base of the transistor Q1. This applied voltage makes transistor Q1's emitter to base junction in reverse bias, so it not conducts. So the transistor Q1 not conducts and it is in off state. Okay, now when the transistor Q2 is in saturation state, the capacitor C1 will charge through resistor RL1 and to this transistor Q1 as it is in on state. Therefore, we can say initially Q2 conducting at saturation state and Q1 is cut-off state. Okay. Here, if we observe the output waveforms, then when Q1 off and Q2 on, then the output voltage across the transistor Q1 will be at high, that is equal to VCC, and at the same time the output from transistor Q2 is in minus VC, that is nearly 0.7 volt. Okay. Now if we apply a trigger pulse of sufficient amplitude through this capacitor to the base of the transistor Q1, this this voltage, trigger pulse voltage override the reverse bias of emitter to base junction of this transistor and give it to forward bias. Okay, hence the transistor Q1 will start conducting. Now, as this transistor Q1 conducts, its collector voltage falls due to the voltage drop across this RL. It means the potential of this point, okay, that is a negative going signal. This potential will decrease. This negative going voltage is fed back to the base of the transistor Q2 via this capacitor C1. Okay, this causes the decrease of forward bias of this transistor Q2. Now, as the forward bias decrease, so collector current of this transistor will decrease and the potential of the point B, okay, increases, because the lesser, as the collector current decreases, the lesser voltage drop will be there. Therefore, within very short time the Q2 comes out of conduction, means it will go to off state. Okay, so in output waveform, when the Q2 is off, the output voltage from Q2 is high, and at the same time the output from Q1 transistor is nearly 0, because this is short circuited to ground, means the potential of A is in ground potential. Okay, now as this A point is in ground potential, now the capacitor C1 will discharging through this path, okay, R1 C1 to this ground. At the same time, the negative potential at the base of the transistor Q2 is decreased. As C1 discharge further, the negative potential is further decreased and the cutoff is pulled out from Q2 transistor. So, it starts conducting. Therefore, we can say the transistor is returned back to its initial state. This is the stable state. Okay. So, here the transistor, both transistor changes state automatically due to this charging discharging process of transistor capacitor C1. Okay. So, this is the stable state. If you want to again change its state, you have to apply a trigger pulse of sufficient amplitude with short duration. Okay, as long as you is not given the trigger pulse to this point, the transistors will not change their states. It will remains its stable state. Therefore, we can say this monostable multivibrator produces one output for every input trigger pulse. Okay. Therefore, the name mono or one-shot multivibrator. The width of this width or duration of the pulse, that is the half stable state pulse, is equal to 0.69 R1C1, the RC time constant value. So by this relationship we can calculate or we can determine the width or duration of this pulse. Okay. This is the summary of operation of monostable multivibrator, already discussed. Okay. That is what happens initially in initial condition, then when trigger pulse is applied, the points mentioned here, and how the states return to its initial stable state. Yeah. This is the point mentioned here, as I already discussed. Now, the advantages of monostable multivibrator. What are the advantages? That is, one trigger pulse is sufficient to change its state. So by applying a trigger pulse, you can change its output state. Okay. And another advantage is in the circuit design of monostable multivibrator is quite easy, simple. Okay. And it is inexpensive. Okay. That is, cost is low. What is the disadvantage? The major drawback of using monostable multivibrator is the time between the applications of trigger pulse T has to be greater than the RC time constant. Otherwise, output will be distorted, not the desired duration of the output pulse will be available. And applications. Monostable multivibrators are used in television circuits and control system circuits. Okay. So these are the references used in this video lecture. If you have any question regarding the topic discussed today, you can contact me through this email ID. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day.